our Sister Circle chat. I'm so happy that y'all are here with me today. I'm just so blessed. I mean, there's some people here I've been knowing for
over 20 years, honey.
over 20 years. Yes.
Hey, my name is Felicia French. I am from Galveston, Texas. I am an author, a speaker, a coach, a consultant. If it's anything to do with bettering yourself, mental health, college, student success, self-love, all of that, that is who I am and what I do.
Awesome. Nice.
Pipkin, owner of Black World Schoolers Mobile Bookstore. We're an online bookstore, and we are debuting our bookstore on wheels Juneteenth.
Yes.
I'm a mother, raising 3 people, a wife, a friend. It's my first time meeting Erin in person.
I know we've been friends for 2 years. Yeah.
Wow.
That's amazing.
So I'm excited to be here.
I'm about to finish the beer like this. I'm a wife, a mother, grandmother. It's hard to believe, right? And I'm also a craft beer blogger, which I brought here today. We probably try to get some more cans. Anybody want to try it here? It's called Factory by a Black-owned craft beer brewery here in Cincinnati and Walnut Hills. Let's start, y'all. I'm Shannon Huff, and I just became a mother, not just like yesterday, but 4 years ago. So I had my first baby. I got married. By trade, I am a mortgage loan officer, and my goal is to enrich our country, especially with African American owners. Less than 27% of us own property across the whole country.
Yeah.
So it's my job to make sure that we know how money works, and not money but wealth. I've also written a book.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't know that. I'll just figure out. If you read it. No, it's called Deceptions with a Z. Okay. Don't know. Girl, you know, I like the one. Amazon. Okay, go to Amazon. Good for you. Go to Amazon. I was supposed to write another one, but it wasn't as easy as the first one.
Yeah.
Because I had drama.
Yeah.
I had drama. I had stress. My life was changing.
Yeah. That's when you can get there.
Yeah, and all that creativity was flowing.
Yeah.
And then since, I go to ballet and y'all should have told me.
Well, you're gonna ask. We're gonna talk about it.
Yes, say it.
Head to toe body licensing. I am opening up a beauty school for teaching people how to own businesses, but own them the right way. We do not, in the African American community, sometimes understand that it's way more than cash out and cash business. You should prepare your business properly. So I do know that small business startup.
Nice.
I'm a mom. I am married. Bunch of little girls. All my children are not little anymore, but I have adult children and a few teenagers. I have dogs. I'm a dog mom. I'm just me. Perfectly imperfect me. Relax and just chill. And I love to travel. That's my huge thing. I love to work hard and travel.
Yeah.
When the day just talking.
Formerly Maze. So she and I are twins.
Yeah.
Yes. Anyway, a little bit about me. Let's see here. So I am a mother of 3 girls. Youngest is, Cookie is 4, Lennon is 10, and Ayana is 23. And I have a granddaughter. So besides all that great stuff, I am a wife. I'm also a dog mom. I have 5 dogs at home. Yeah.
You're fostering, right?
No, girl, ain't mine.
I thought you were starting the shelter. Or you not doing
I used to do that. Okay, so animals, I'm a compassionate soul. If it ain't humans, it's some animals. I used to foster and rescue dogs and cats.
You gotta get away from that.
I also am a doula, so I've been a doula for over 20 years, providing birth support to young women and older women and whomever needs the support, whatever it looks like.
You come to me, I heard.
We ain't gotta talk about that. So besides being a doula for as long as I've been doing it, I also ran, I own Lesbian Wellness Studio. So what that is, I am an advanced cosmetologist, but I specialize in skincare. And especially for women over the age of 40, like that's my niche. Like we sometimes get so caught up in taking care of other people that we forget about taking care of ourselves. And it's nothing wrong with pouring back into yourself, because if you don't take care of you can't take care of nobody else.
So listen, let's talk about that. Let's talk about self-care. Let's talk about
I always ever asked about the mom, and I have went through postpartum before, man, my first kid, so I really am huge on, are you okay? The baby's gonna be fine. They're gonna be okay.
Right.
It's the mom. Sometimes you relate, it's a lot that we don't ask other people. And so and my husband had to sit me down and tell me one day, like, kind of what you said, he goes through this and goes through this and goes through this. He had a bunch of deaths in his family. He said, no one ever asked about me.
Yeah.
He said, no one ever asked how I feel. I never thought that, you're right. I was asking about my clients and everything else, but we have to start checking up on each other. Just making sure. It doesn't have to be in person. I can call her. Like, you good? Are you okay?
Okay, so let me ask you that. We give to everybody, our children, our friends, our parents, our everybody. You know what I mean? And then by the time we look up, we're depleted. Nobody has poured back into us because they're so used to us giving to them. So how do y'all do self-care? What are your go-tos and what have you found when it comes to not finding that balance, you know, within your life when it's not, you know, you're not pouring back into yourself?
That's interesting that you say that, because I'm at the place now where I need to do that. I have a young daughter. My marriage is still young. We're only 6 years into the game, right? So I'm still trying to learn Shannon without being mom and wife. And I really don't know how to do that. You know what I mean? Because I'm working, and then I have all these things with her, and then all these things with her, with him, and then now, it used to be 3 of us. One of my brothers passed, so now it's me and my younger brother. So I'm giving to him to keep him okay.
Yeah.
What about me? So I don't know.
Do you feel people ask about you? Shannon, how are you doing?
Who does that?
Okay.
I mean, well, how are you?
Thank you.
How are you today?
I'm hating.
We ask that sometimes because say if I call Diamond, right, and say, how you doing? She may say, I'm fine, I'm good. When really she's not. So how can we ask in a different way? You know what I mean? Instead of saying, are you okay? You know, maybe like, you know, do you need something from me, or can I do something for you? Or how else can we show up for each other? Because sometimes we ask and we just say fine.
Because
How are you taking care of yourself today? Somebody said,
So my friends and I, we said, I said, how's your heart? So that makes you automatically dig deeper, because even if you ask, how are you taking care of yourself, it's all about perspective. So if because we go on autopilot, right?
Yeah.
If I think I'm doing okay, I'm gonna say I'm fine. It's a natural response for us to say I'm fine. But when I say how's your heart, all of y'all, if I say how's your heart, you have to take a moment to think about it. What does that mean? How's my heart? So I think if we do that and we find language, those things that we tend to think about. And I just said the other day, setting boundaries, maintaining boundaries is self-care.
And we can talk about that because that's difficult. That's easy. It's very easy to say that about it, but it's very hard, especially once you created a pattern.
Yeah. It just, for me though, because I was doing that, because again, I'm all about like, this is self-care. It's literally taking care of yourself. It's not easy, and trust me, I say set boundaries, but then maintaining boundaries is where I get
It's hard. I mean, we gonna keep it real. The person knows sometimes that's used to us being there, or us being the one that, you know, they depend on all the time.
Yeah.
And even when you said the part about the perspective about, you know, you feel like you're okay, but sometimes you know you're not, and you'll still say, because you don't want that judgment. But because you feel like,
everybody seems so big because do you ask me, do you really have time to hear that?
Yeah.
So we say, I'm fine because you're how you doing? Or how you doing?
I'm a very, very, very intricate human being with not a lot of time. I say no all the time. I am not people pleasing. I always do what's best for myself. In every aspect of my life. Because when I don't, I am upset, and I don't want to be upset. I learned I don't overcommit. I tell you I'll do the best I can, because you don't owe anybody anything. When it comes down to my children and my husband, you have to set boundaries with everyone in your life. And once you, I love what you said, once you get that going, it's kind of hard to maintain, but now it's fluent with me. Everybody knows it's not going to be be, they know how
They know what to expect.
They know what to expect when it comes to me. Which is good. I don't sugarcoat. Some people say I'm very blunt. Now, I mean, I am blunt, but I know when to be, I'm me.
And I see nothing wrong with that though. But I think that people are so used to us sugarcoating that when somebody just tells you straight up,
You're automatically labeled.
you're aggressive.
Okay, like, so what do you think about this logo, Lisa? I'm like, I mean, I don't like it. And I'll tell you, because you asked me.
Right.
And I'll say, I don't like it because it's busy, it's not eye-catching, you can't brand it. Flat. If you come to me, I'll tell you. So that's all I mean. People either, they don't like it or they do. They respect it, but
You guys know, I've been, bless me, I'm going to tell you, I don't pull any punches, that's how it is. But when it comes to my husband and my daughter and my brother, I become like this docile person because I think they need me. You know what I mean? So I can't be as forward because my brother is still dealing with losing his brother, which is my brother, and his right hand, and then get everything together. So it's like, okay, how do I step in and be sister? But then I gotta be sister, and then I gotta be a daughter, and then I'm a retired pole dancer. You know, I just got everything.
I was thinking about this when we were talking earlier, just about how we spend so much time not being who we really are on the inside. That's draining as hell. And I'm like, so anybody that walks in their truth and is walking free, I applaud that because it's less stress. It's okay for us to be who we are.
you're true to Lisa.
The way you feel about me is your thing.
And then I'm not be myself. You're gonna make those assumptions about me anyway. Right. So I'm gonna be me. That's their issue, and not yours.
Because I was always different. And I didn't care about no circle. If y'all remember from high school, I did not care about being part of no circle. I was my own.
And I don't think you had a circle.
No, I am the circle. I remember years ago, someone said to me, stopped me and looked me dead in my eye. I was like, people already think you crazy, right? Straight up like that. And I was like, yeah, they do. They be crazy. It was like he was giving me permission to be myself. Because it's like, if people don't think that anyway, why care about it?
You know what I'm saying? Like I've never changed. Like I'm 42. I'm still trying to come out of my shell. If that makes sense. I don't know if it's crazy or not. Right. But it's just look. I'm always watching and listening. So I don't talk often. So I'm just
I remember when I was growing up, when I was in my early teens, and I started getting my tattoos, and my daddy's always like,
You'll never get a job.
You doing all that white boy shit. And I'm like, what are you talking about? So now, I'm heavily tattooed. I got piercings and everything, but that's what I like, unapologetically. I like dogs. I got 5, right? I don't care. I don't want people to say, I'm not going to come let you do my face or be my gula because you tagged on. Right. I'm a person who serves people. I know that about myself, so I'm going to try to act like I do nothing else. I work in corporate America. I don't even like that.
But even working in corporate America, I'm loud, I'm boisterous, and I own every room I walk in.
And that's your thing.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying about me personally is, as far as I like boots to the ground work. Not saying that you're not,
Right.
but I like to be out. I work with kids, teenagers every single day. You want to talk about meet somebody where they at? Because I'm working with people in the foster care system, and I grew up in an $800,000 house, and I'm working with these kids, trying to make them respect me and me be empathetic towards their struggle. That's the type of work I do. And if you can get in that space, you got to be able to take yourself so far out of the equation to work effectively with people, and then be able to go home and appreciate what you have. It's something to be said about that. So it's unfortunate when people can't live in their truth, and it's unfortunate when people question, am I too good to be in this space? If you question that, that's not you, that's them.
Right.
So maybe you feel like you gotta question yourself about
That's
it.
after school for me though.
The only thing you need to strive for, baby, is greatness.
Real quick with Code Switch, a small business startup in Cincinnati, Ohio. Right?
Congratulations on getting
Thank you. So we're sitting there in work, and we literally talked about code switching and how, first of all, I didn't know what it was, I'm not even gonna lie. No idea, I never heard that term before.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what it was, so I said, what was it? And they said it's kind of when you change maybe your tone or who you are to fit in a different room or environment that you're in. So I kind of smiled and I thought, do I do that? Because I do own businesses. The funny thing about me is, yes, my business is black owned. My business, my clientele is 50% white, 50% black. I don't change who I am for anybody. I'm always Lisa. However, I am a professional. So at the end of the day, professionalism speaks more volumes than what color I am.
Right.
I don't feel the need to change my tone. I always enunciate my words. So if I have a young woman who's 19, whatever, I'll meet you where you're at.
Yeah, that's right.
But I learned that when you're dealing with people who aren't you, who don't look like you, they really appreciate authenticity. If you're African American, they will come to you because you are. We don't have to really shut the job anymore. We're a little bit, I feel like I'm past that. I just don't feel like it matters whether or not I'm sitting in the room with P&G because sometimes those people aren't even my circle. So why am I even here? I just won't say anything. I don't need to prove to anyone how educated I am or anything. Right. At the end of the day, I know who I am.
And that's a good place to be in.
Right? This is the language they use. Your language is straight, and actually, like they say, we bilingual. We can say, we speak what they speak, and we have our own language they don't understand. So it's letting our children know, letting each other know, like, it's not that we're doing something wrong, we have to get correct with them.
It's just
They not going to understand us any other way. They don't speak our language.
We were just talking about that when we came in today because I don't get my daughter dressed. She does her like how she does her. The only thing I'm not going for is wearing a wedding dress and tap shoes.
I have older daughters.
Yeah.
So I feel like I am never critical on me. I don't ever talk bad about myself. You'll never hear me be like, Lisa, your nose so big. I never do that. I just don't speak negatively about Lisa.
Yeah.
And I've taught my children to do that. But so I have two at home, 17 and 18. My children are always, so daughters are hard. I never had boys. I've always.
And I never had girls, so.
So I'm glad my children do have self-esteem. But,
Girl, talk about the I did it to my voice. I know what you about to say. Talk about this
my
thing.
children are no arrogant.
Yes.
My children are little, I don't care how much money I have, my children feel like it's them. So my kids got to fight one day. My kids love to fight. I'm just going to be transparent. I don't care how I was so much. It's not great at me, but that's okay. They was so great. You know, I know it's right. They look at me over there, they're good at stuff. When they got to the fight, when you're telling me about my children, what I always tell people, because I'm very humble. I don't care how much money I had from my father, how I was raised, it wasn't mine. So when I got my mom, I was broke this. I wasn't Sam's daughter, I was an adult and I had to take care of myself. So I tell my children, they get in a fight, whatever, first thing they say is, you broke and managed. I said, what in the world? And this is what they tell me, they think it's cute. And I'm like, why would you say that to them? I said, first of all, the reason y'all probably got into a fight is because you probably have something on that they wanted. Or because my kids are flashy, they wear my jewelry. I mean, I don't even know what I go through, but they say that it hurt my feelings. Because I don't talk like that, and I don't treat people like that. And I couldn't believe some children that came out of me, literally called somebody a broken down. So I broke it down real quick. I said, everything here is mine. You have nothing. Give me your purse, give me your watch, give me the cards out of your wallet, give me your car keys, give me everything. I pay car notes, I do everything. I give my children the life that I feel I had the same life, but I don't want them to want from me. So but it gets to a point with women and mothers that we have to hold ourselves accountable for what we do, what we show these kids to. Because if I didn't check my two daughters who said that, do you know what kind of animals they're being there like 2 years from now?
I think you're talking to me. Why are you trying to call me out?
About building confidence for our kids because I always had a hard time finding that balance. Because my children, especially being black men in America, I wanted them to know every day. I told them every day that they were beautiful, handsome, good looking, all of that. Whenever I could tell them, because smart, brilliant, when they left out for the day, go conquer the day, you got this. Because I remember leaving home getting fussed at, or, you know, at school not feeling like you were enough, right?
Yeah.
And it weighs on you. You cannot be an effective student, you know what I mean, or human, you know, when you feel like that. So I did that, but it is this weird thing of finding that balance because they believe that, right?
Also, I'm very good with people because I deal with women and men, but I primarily my ideal clientele. Well, the most I deal with women all the time. Women people have low self-esteem.
Yeah.
So if people are not happy, people they will project on every single.
But you know what? But a lot of that is because they cannot live in their truth.
But and I'm saying they don't know how to.
Exactly, because
Go ahead.
I said, why are you even giving it that much energy? Why do you literally think that somebody that posted something on Facebook is talking about you?
Right.
They didn't put your name on that.
I don't care.
But even if they are,
Who cares?
so we have a trend now. I don't want to offend nobody on whoever's watching this, I'm sorry. But because I see bodies all day, it's a lot of body work trends.
Yeah.
I don't like that people are, I don't care what you're obsessed with, but because you had your body tonight, that means she's not okay because she did.
Right. Exactly.
I don't like that. Like,
Yeah.
I don't like that. What is wrong with being natural?
Hey,
Look down on you if you got a little food, but like,
I hate it.
but
I like for the need to make yourself, and they're young girls doing this, like in their 20s. I'm like just
I see what you're saying.
work out and do the best you can. Like, you don't need a new butt, like, you don't need all of that.
And that's where I'm at with, like, I don't care what people do.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So my daughter's not. She does ballet.
Yeah.
COVID put weight on her. She was a tiny little thing. Now she weighs 100 pounds. She wanted to do ballet. And I was like, no, she's not doing ballet. Like, you know, not saying it to her, but saying it to me, like, you know, she's a little heavy. So I'm like, if she wants to do ballet,
We're gonna do it. We're gonna put on that leotard.
she puts it on every Monday, and she's literally the biggest one in there and the only black girl in that class. I'm pouring her because I can. And then, so 2 weeks ago, we went to see Snow White at the ballet.
Oh yeah.
And she was like, that could be me. I'm like, you know what? It sure can.
That's
Like,
right.
you don't find another dance studio.
That's right.
So we're shows, so you don't have a backstage.
That's right.
It's like, and then my 15-year-old, you know, she has her lock, she has her piercing. Whatever you feel that's comfortable for you, I want to do it. As long as I don't think it's bad, you know. But no, I definitely, and I have to watch myself too because sometimes I'm in the mirror, I'm like, oh, this don't look right on me. But then they look at me like, I'm looking at her like she's a little thick girl. She's a thick girl. I'm like, I gotta stop doing that.
Because you're so beautiful. That's the thing. You know, seriously, we are all so beautiful.
She can't wear a dress if it doesn't twirl.
Okay,
Good.
if it doesn't glitter, she's not wearing it. And you see the head pieces, and I'm here for it all. My daddy's like, when you just gonna let her do absolutely.
And you gotta be ready for each stage because it's cute then, and then when they get to the other age, it's gonna be something different.
Oh,
And you gotta love that too.
Yeah, I gotta love that.
They evolve.
That like kids are naturally confident. Like if you ask them, what do you want to be? They're gonna say, oh yeah, I'm gonna be an astronaut, an engineer.
I want to be everything.
They have that. What happens is society does this.
Yeah.
And so it's beautiful that y'all are not allowing society to do that because it starts at home.
My daughter, 5 years old, I think. We took a trip to Rochester, New York to go see one of my girlfriends that we all went to school with, Kilo Lamoya, and she had locks. So when my baby's name is Lennox Simone, but we call her Cookie because Lennox that's heavy, right? So
It's so beautiful though. Yeah.
So Cookie came home and she was like, I want locks like my auntie Kilo, and her daddy was like, you ain't entertaining that, are you? I was like, hell yeah. She said she want locks like her auntie Kilo. So came in, I'll never forget this. She came in for Christmas and locked her hair up the day before she was going back to New York. And Cookie ain't had these locks since. It's just about confidence. So when you nurture that and you allow them to be them and you just let it go, like I don't care if you want to wear her favorite color is blue. Good.
Right.
I'm gonna make sure every little water bottle I get for you is blue.
Yeah.
Every little lunchbox that you get is blue.
Yeah.
And so it never makes them feel bad about who they are, because that's the worst thing. You walk around here feeling bad.
We grow and evolve, trends change all the time. The favorite color will be blue today and tomorrow it'll be orange. But if you, as parents, I'm not a parent, I'm a forever auntie, I love it, I live in that. But as parents, like when you know yourself, when as beautiful as y'all are and as y'all walk in y'all's truth, you pass that on to your babies. And society will try to put their claws on them.
I'll talk about me personally.
Please.
Because I'm just me. So I'm gonna tell you, I ain't no 9 to 5 mama. I ain't never home. And it was a problem in the beginning of my marriage once we had kids.
Yeah.
Because he expected me to be his mama. As far as pouring everything into the kids at all times to the point that you forget about who you are personally. And I'm not that person. I was not raised like that. I don't want no man being in control of me because he can take care of me financially. Because he can leave at any moment. And I'm not gonna be stuck looking stupid with nothing. Okay, yeah, you can pay spousal support or whatever, but that's not me. I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a worker. My kids need to see me grind and hustle.
Yeah.
And not saying hustle like, oh, black women always feel like they gotta be out here, but we do though. And there's nothing wrong with that.
At all.
And sometimes I'm home all day with my kids, and sometimes I don't get home till they're in the bed. And it's okay. I miss a lot of soccer games. And it's okay.
And because you set the
And I
standard that
set
you're
the
going
standard.
to be great no matter what hours under that.
But what I do is unapologetically because I would drive myself crazy if I allowed what other people thought about me make me feel bad.
Yeah.
Because people have tried before, and I'm like, oh yeah, like you can tell me what to do. And plus, I'm my own self. I want to be happy too.
Yeah.
I love what I
But
do.
there is that expectation though when you have kids, right? That you are supposed to give all that up. Like that happiness. I know you're not, but I'm saying that is a real
But how
expectation.
miserable is that though?
Of course it
Especially
is.
when especially I got a husband at home.
Yeah.
I'm not about to be doing everything, and you're not.
You're not a single parent.
Y'all not a single parent, so daddy can help out too.
Right.
Daddy can cook.
So let me ask this question: is that an issue? Because I don't trust that he'll get it done the way I did.
I don't care.
It's not about whether they get it done the way you do it. Will you step up and do it for me?
Yes.
If I need you to.
Right.
You know, the roles need to be fluid. They can't
Yes,
just
right.
be,
Mm-hmm.
I do this and you do that. I'm gonna need you to step up for me, just like you're gonna need me to step up for you. We gotta work this thing out together.
As women, we need to respect what that looks like for all of us too. It's like that.
Individual.
It's like that. They're like breastfeeding versus and for me, like I'm a homeschool mom, right?
Yeah.
That's not when I was on my life. That's just I made 4 years ago, right? But like and what you do is what you do, right? But what we end up doing is saying this is this, that'd be horrible. Like at a homeschooler, oh my gosh, why would you want to do? Why would you want, right?
Right.
That brings me joy. Like you know that, right? So the thing with us as women, it don't matter what society says about what we should do. Period. We respect what each other do and say that's what you how each other up for what you do. But we can't share our story. We say, oh gosh, never, right?
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean? You share what you do. You share what you do. You're supposed to be like, that's beautiful that you get to live how you like to live, right?
Yeah.
But we don't do that. We get our little clicks and say, oh, we the 9 to 5, we the corporate America,
Yeah.
we the creatives, we the hustlers, we the no kids, we the 4 kids, we the
I've done it plenty times.
Yeah. We all of us.
Me and Aaron, I feel like we got older kids. Leslie go home, but we don't.
Yeah.
We don't have little kids.
No.
I have grown adult children, so you got to go around. But so I'm guilty of that.
Yeah.
But what I've learned in me working with all types of people is I love women. So in every aspect, and I like hearing stories about women.
Yeah.
Because we all are different.
Yeah.
I don't want a bunch of me's. It was too much. It's too much. I love the fact that if you're a homeschool mom, I can go someplace and chill at 2 o'clock. If I have 2 o'clock open, and I just want to go sit on the couch and you probably got some coffee, brewing, tea, whatever you want.
Right.
I might be able to relax.
Yes.
Now you're different.
Celebrating each other. Yes.
We all need balance.
Yeah.
And but we don't talk to each other too. I feel like black women are so hard to. I like to look, like I said, I'll compliment your tone and polish. I don't care.
Me too.
It's something in me. So when people say mean stuff about women or each other, I don't condone it. I don't even comment. Normally I just won't say that. Sometimes I can't do that. But
Yeah.
I'm trying to just consciously watch what I say because women are fragile too.
We are.
Because again, no one asks about how you're doing.
Right.
Me making one negative comment or me saying this might break you. I don't know where you at right now.
Right.
I don't know. And we don't ask enough people. But me dealing with all types of women in all walks of life has made me relax towards women, to not judge women. I'm
But
not
you don't understand people.
or a person in general.
Yes.
We all walk different paths.
Yes.
My life is the way it is because I have a husband who allows me to do what I want to do, who's allowed me to build my business, who's allowed me to not have to worry about home because he took care of that. That's the only reason I was able to do what I did. That might not work for you. That might not work for you. We didn't worry about money. That was a beautiful thing when I was building my business. So now, as a woman that I am, I don't have a lot of time, and that's my guilt. I really am. I just wish I had more time. There's only 24 hours in a day.
Yeah.
So I get guilty because I can't spend time like this with women that I want to.
Yeah.
I travel every 3 months, big trips. It's always with my husband. I do one group trip, and that's with a bunch of families, but we don't spend that much time with them. I'm being in, like chilling, sleeping, doing something. So we always have to give each other grace.
Yeah.
Just be gracious with one another and courteous, because you don't know where everybody is. I might look like I got it, but probably gonna go sleep in the car. I'm not only about to be here because I got to get home. I ain't know here.
But you know what? I see social media on that. Read something the other day, and it really stuck with me about how even when we were younger, we got ready for like Easter Sunday or some kind of event, they straightened our hair. Yeah, you know what I mean? That was what made it look presentable.
Oh, you hear me? She looks like Simba from the Lion King. I'm here for all of it. We gotta do something. And I love the way she's loud, and I love it, and I love that about her. However, there's a way that you conduct yourself. I don't care if you're the loudest person in the room, don't get wear that sparkly headband or whatever, but you're going to speak correct English because you know better.
Yeah, because for me, I wanted straight hair. I had big hair. I wanted straight hair because, again, that was society standard beauty. And so my mom would buy all sorts of products to straighten my hair. She would do everything. All of my best friends, they know, shout out to y'all. They spend hours straightening my hair. But if I would have had the freedom, if it would have been at home, and it's not my mom's fault, it's, again, their mindset of what beauty looks like, what being presentable looks like. Your hair needs to be straight. We fried out, laying to the side. We going to the salon and we're doing that. But if my mom would have given me that permission, my hair would have been as big and as beautiful
Up to the sun.
Whatever. So that's what I wanted. But then I'm like looking around, and everyone, whenever I get my hair straightened and I go into school, the reaction is so different.
Yes.
Everybody is, ooh, you look beautiful. As if I didn't look beautiful when I did my hair was not straight. And it just keeps, even still now, like, I could post my hair straight, oh my gosh, it's like 500,000 comments. Your hair's beautiful, your hair's beautiful.
And we were taught to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we all are learning some things.
But it's funny that you say that because I grew up with old Southern grandparents, right? And you're too busy, you're too that. I was a badass little kid. So whenever they told me I was too loud, I'm going to get louder. Shannon, when you're not doing it, and whatever you told me not to do, I'm going to do it.
With kids, and what you're talking about too, but the issue where it's like balance is, we want our children to be open to growth and open to hearing us.
Yeah.
You will all to be so much more if you keep listening and growing.
Exactly.
You will have to shift because when you're in relationships, there are things where it's like, I am offensive. Maybe this work on my own in the mirror, but how do I do this to you?
Exactly.
That's hurtful.
Yeah.
That's the importance of dialogue, though, too, where you are saying, hey, you can be this, but you don't have to break anybody else down. You don't have to take
Exactly.
that dialogue is important. And again, they're kids, y'all.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Don't be talking like that. Who broke this and broke that. We'll give examples through social media, acting like children. Not us in this room, but grown people are acting like kids.
That's why I tell people I don't raise children, I'm raising adults. They're already kids.
Exactly.
They're kids.
Exactly.
So I don't care about them being kids. I'm trying to get you to hear.
Right.
So if you don't listen and you don't understand, because you don't know everything. No one knows everything. Everybody's a student. I'm a student in life.
Yeah.
But I am my children's mother, and I am raising them to be adults.
Yeah.
You will not
Yeah.
speak disparagingly about someone who believes this. Because how are you to say they belong to anybody?
Right.
What might be there?
Right.
I didn't know.
Right.
That's my thing. You don't know nothing about nobody. So
Yeah.
it's out. Like, it's just weird.
Yeah. more of not that's how they feel. It's repetitive behavior. It's
Yeah.
music. It's also they feel. They don't know that, like you said, they're just repeating whatever. They heard somebody on TV or on
That's
the
what they
radio.
Right. I don't, that's, so then they do get it from social media, from their
Yeah.
friends. They family, that's true. They act just like they being raised.
Yeah. So I want to shift the conversation a little bit because I want to talk about, just expectations of women. Us as women, and how people expect. Like, say for instance, like you said, you want to be a lifelong auntie. There's nothing wrong with it. But sometimes people will say, "Oh, there's one kid." No, seriously. So I want to talk about that because it's a real thing, right? That we experience as women, where it's like if you don't have children by this age,
Something's wrong with you.
or if you don't work for corporate America. Some people believe that's the only way to achieve success. And if you want to be an artist or out here doing talk shows, people are like, it's like people say, "What are you doing?" Listen, I've been here for years. Okay, I was talking for years. And do you know that when I finally got a job at the corporate America, because I was like, I'm sick of working on these long hours. I need to be here for my children, playing games or whatever. At that time, I was a single parent. I'm in survival mode. I need a job 8 to 5. I'm making this amount of money. I know what I'm making, right? I got this job in corporate America. People all around me said to me, "Oh, you finally got a real job." Wow. And I was like, "Oh, well, let me say, why? Because what do I know for that?" You know what I mean? So, but that's how they thought, right? So it's these expectations people said, and they feel as though you have not achieved anything yet if you have not done it this way. So what do y'all feel about that expectation that people have on us?
So this Corona thing, of course, it took the world by storm, right? Nobody knew. But what I love is that it made us greater. It made us step our hustle up into businesses. Like, I would tell my husband all the time that he was like, "Oh, these white girls, this and that." That's cool, but they want to be me. You paying Kim and whoever, you paying X amount of thousands of dollars for all this ass. That all naturally. You feel me? Sorry. Sorry, y'all, my bad. I get it. But I love
They're here right in school. Baby,
Right.
you gotta get sent home for graduation because their hair is not right. I mean, it's 18 years of saying you're not good enough for this space, or you won't make it when you get out of here because of what you've done in this space. Like, everything, right, exactly. So you spend your whole adulthood trying to unlearn all that and then rebuild or get back to who you were from the get-go before everybody told you
And
you
it's
were.
so traumatizing. It costs.
Being raised that way. That stuff starts when you're little. That starts when your parents say, "Don't you touch this, don't you do that, straighten this, wear this, pull your pants up, cut your hair down."
I'm like that with my
But it's interesting because we were doing that to ourselves.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it was an indoctrination that we started to associate what was acceptable, what was good with straight hair, with this, that, and the other, and even like with the language thing, right? So we teach it to each other, and I say if anything is like bad or wrong, it's just a matter of that we do it and we don't even realize we're
unconsciously doing it. As black women, we step out and say, "Hey, I make cookies. I like beer. I'm a writer. I'm a mother. Let me get you this facial regimen, and honey, let me get all that hair from up under that booty, baby." I love that.
That's a change.
And as we're going and growing, these things that we had as hustles are Fortune 500 businesses.
I'm gonna, do any of that. That was never my. I actually really don't even know what I was just bibbity bopping around. But for me, like I define womanhood just as me existing and being my whole self. That is my definition of womanhood, and just growing up and even having the freedom to navigate and figure out what it is that I want to do and what I don't want to do. But having to be secure in that because I get the questions.
That's why we got in here like what people have asked you.
Right, like from when I was in my 20s. I mean, you know, people always ask me, so you gonna have kids? Are you gonna have kids? Are you gonna have kids? And I say to them, absolutely not. I'm not gonna have kids. I'm gonna travel the world. I'm gonna build my empire, and I'm gonna live life the way I want to live.
How did you feel? How did you feel when people asked you that?
It never bothered me because I've always been secure in my own definitions of that.
Because I know you do that. That's not everybody's reality.
Yeah.
Where they, you know what I mean? I want you to talk to because I want to hear some like.
Well,
I don't say real, but I want to hear like because it's a real thing where people can make you feel like you are best friend. And I know what we say to ourselves in our pet talk. But I want to hear some real truths where you're sitting in the room by yourself and you think about when you just went to the family reunion and auntie, whoever said again to you, why did you have kids? I mean, it's a thing.
So one thing that I'll say that wasn't my issue. The other issue that I was navigating was being a lesbian. Like that's about it. So I'm like, I'm not gonna have kids anyway. Like I have to intentionally have. I'm like, I gotta go buy some kids. Right. Like, you know, that was your thing. My reality, like that's not gonna be. Not that I couldn't do it, but like I'm over here worried about existing in a space where I hear people talking about how I'm damned to hell and I'm this and I'm that and that was my struggle because I was like, nobody's ever gonna love me, nobody's ever gonna want me, and nobody's ever gonna, you know, thank you. So for me, that was like, I don't care about you saying like where you at. I didn't officially come out until like my friends knew, my family knew, but like the world know it. It wasn't until last year. It was the last. And I'm like, I've been knowing since I was 7. No, I'm early on, but like 17 is when I was like, I can't do this anymore. I've navigated a lot with that, like suicidal thoughts and all of that kind of stuff. It was really tough for me. But last year, it was like the last day of Pride, and I was like, what am I doing? I don't care about these people and what they would have to say or whatever. The same way, I don't care about how you see me as a woman or this or that. Like, I just want to live in who I am. And so that's always like, I know it's not easy for a lot of people to have to navigate that question of, so you don't have kids.
Well, but you touched on something that's real though, is that based on societal pressure, because it's a real thing. Chris, you had something to say?
I was just gonna say, I was during the day just talking. It was always my story. I wanted to get married. I have 4 kids.
Yeah.
She wanted kids. I didn't. She didn't want kids. And now look at us. 20-something years later, she has the kids. I don't. And I was just like, dude, maybe I can have them, maybe I can't.
Yeah.
You know, PCOS, we don't talk about that a lot.
Oh, do you?
We don't talk about that a lot in our community. And I had to sit down and sit with some real truths. Is this something that I really want? You know what I'm saying? Do I really see my life at kids at 40? Starting now. When all of my friends, their kids are graduating high school. And the ones of my friends that have just had babies, they're 4, 5, 6. I'm bottles and Pampers and no, I don't think. I think I need some stamps in my passport. And not only being 42, but also switching over. I'm also in a lesbian relationship. You know, so that is on top of the PCL. That's some serious planning and some serious.
25 pounds off.
So, you know, is this really what I want to do? Because my parents were always, when are you going to give us some grandbabies?
And that's heavy, right?
For me, it was, I would love to give you grandchildren. It ain't happening though. So we gonna have to figure something else out. But then both of my parents got really sick. So, you know, I just lost my mom 2 years ago. And for me, it was like, well, what's the point now? You know what I'm saying? Because my dad is up in age, he's oxygen walker. You can't babysit for me. You know, and even my father-in-law, he's a heart patient. You know what I'm saying? So that will fall on my daughter-in-law, and she just turned 30. And she's catching flights, not feeling. She don't want kids. You know, she telling her friends, don't do it. It's gonna cost you money. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I was just like, that It's not for me.
Yeah.
I can do auntie. I can do auntie real good. I can do godmommy real good. That's where we gonna roll with it.
Yeah.
Let me love on your kids. You know what I'm saying? Let me bring them joy. Let me send them educational things. You know what I'm saying? And let me watch them blossom.
If more of us started doing that with each other, saying it's okay for you to be whatever, live your truth.
Yeah.
Live your truth, live yours, live yours. If we did that more with each other, instead of being so judgmental with each other, more people I think would feel comfortable being okay in that. You know what I'm saying? And that's where this kind of stuff is so important, where we connect and be able to share.
I knew my daughter was gay at 14. I asked her, was she gay at 14? I don't know what made me know, but I knew. So my daughter's bisexual. My stepdaughter is gay, and she's 15, 16. What we did was we made it open and okay to let them walk in their truth, because her brother like girls, and I was so afraid of them hurting her self or just not being able to. My daughter thought that first of all, my parents were the judge. My parents are kind of conservative, especially my dad. You know, and I'm the one that was like, I ain't about to tell my dad, I ain't gonna say nothing. I told my dad was like, okay. Right, cool.
Right.
Nobody ever, but I think that's a different time that we live in now. Because when you said you didn't tell the world until last year, that's why I was over like, wow. And it's not like that for my household. I don't care what you do. You can walk around in box of briefs if you want to cut out your hair.
As long as you don't follow by road, right?
Sexuality is a big thing.
Yeah.
Sexuality is a big thing. And I really,
We don't talk about stuff. We don't talk about
and just speaking, well, I mean, I think it is never to me, but like, YouTube's story is just amazing to me because I don't know if it's lesbian and then you don't want kids. My daughter doesn't want children. She's like, I ain't about to do all that. I didn't know
There's a lot of young people now that are selecting out of that.
I had my first child at 18. I had my last at 25, and I met that man. We got 6 children together, 6 daughters.
Yeah.
So my life was different. I didn't think like I don't know how old you were. I know you were young too.
Yeah, I'm 17.
I was 17.
Yeah.
17.
So I slowly.
I'm 37. And then I'm already. Well, no, I'm 37. I'm gonna need you to own that. You're gonna have kids, have them now.
But this is what I was talking about, what Lisa was just talking about is, that whole idea of, especially within our communities. Because I remember growing up, right, in the church, and it was so many people that I know now, and all the other people, right? I'm out here doing a little too much.
But that's why we had family members that I know were
That we knew best on their
still ain't came out yet, so don't get me
It's a fear.
It's a fear.
It's so sad.
Yeah, but I don't know, but the jobs that y'all are living in, what's that fear?
So being on my side of it, you hear the locker talk.
Yeah.
Like you still hear that. And if you're someone that is like, I don't care, which I've always been so envious of people that just were living their lives, just they didn't care. I always wanted to do that, but I would find an excuse like, okay, no, I'm gonna wait until I'm on my own because if I get this on, then I'll be able to live. Which my mom was totally like, what do you mean this on? I would never do that. But you hear the stories from me. My mom never knew because 2 things. I always had boyfriends. Because that's what she did.
And my brother did too. This is my best friend. This is my best friend. We had talked for years. Okay? We had talked for years. This is my girl. She know I love her. And I just remember saying, wow, when did this happen?
Yeah.
Because I never would have thought that. I mean, not that I cared. It was just that we always had boyfriends and boy people, boys. I don't know. But we always were boys.
In high school, like just with high school boyfriends, because I had my first relationship by the time I was 18 and whatever. But so one thing is like I had boyfriends, so my mom just assumed, whatever. But another thing is no one had access to me that I didn't trust. So you may have thought that I was a quiet person. Like there's some people that's like, oh, you were quiet, you were smart and quiet or whatever. I didn't trust you, so you didn't have access to me.
Right.
People that had access to me knew that I was fun and crazy and all that kind of stuff. I was in a space where I thought my parents, my family, my mom, my sisters, I thought everyone was gonna disown me, so I shut myself off from them. I didn't want to give them access because it was gonna hurt too hard when they disowned me.
Yeah.
So there was no way that my mom could have picked up or anything other than the little boys that I brought home, and because I would never even give her. She didn't know that. She didn't know that she was seeing this one version of me because I didn't want to hurt her feelings. But I was self-preservation because I thought
that's pretty typical though in like teenage, right?
Yeah.
I think we all kind of do that to an extent.
Yeah.
Not like compare this to what
Yeah.
you want to do. I'm just saying like where our parents, because my mother was very conservative, is very conservative, right? The Southern Baptist.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was certain things that we heard. I want you to know this part of me because I don't want you to.
Right. I felt what you said. So
This is also a part of reality, so I want you to talk about it.
So I ain't hurt. It was curiosity killed the cat. I'm like, wait a minute, what are y'all doing? Is it fun?
I'm saying. No, I know what you said.
I said, wait a minute, what's going on?
Yes.
Let me try to.
yeah.
Oh, goodness.
That's what I went with.
Yeah.
And she and I, we were really good friends first. And it was like, oh, you want to try it?
Yeah.
Cool, let's
Yeah.
try it. And then we just kind of fell into something because it became familiar. I had my high school sweetheart or whatever. He acted crazy, and it was just a whole debacle, honey. I should have been on Maury, honey.
Girl, you should be on this video right now. Conversations with people of different communities, right? And when I say things like that, like everybody doesn't know from when they was a kid, right? Some people are curious, or some people are heartbroken, and they say, you know what, this person is treating me right. They don't care what that person.
Yeah, or let me try this because I can,
So when I say that, people have attacked me and said, no, we knew. That's not
all that.
Okay. So I can't speak for all black people. I
Yeah.
can speak for all black women.
Yeah.
So we come from different
Yeah.
communities, different
Yeah.
environments, backgrounds, cultures. Yeah. So my experience may be different than your experience, right? Different.
Yeah.
Right. Your experiences are different. So I'm glad you said that because people don't want to acknowledge that part of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I knew when I was 7. I was 7 when I knew.
Yeah.
So I can say that, but I'm not going to disregard somebody else's experience. I think it's crazy when people
Yes.
do that because we all have. It's like when somebody tries to tell you how to feel. Don't tell me how to feel.
Right. We want to respect each other and our differences for sure. And I want you to be able to come and give your perspective because we can't tell you what's right or wrong.
Right. Just like I
Interesting perspectives.
They are. Okay, I want to share something real quick because I want to talk about this. Okay, and I want to talk about the N word. And so let me just preface it with this. When I hear the N word, I don't necessarily get super upset right away. The N word. Should other people say it? How does that look to y'all? Because I want to know. What's your views on that? I know, Gabby, you had something that you wanted to say.
I'm bad because I say it all the time. I say nigga. I'm gonna say it how I want to say it.
Yeah.
You know, my grandparents like little nigga. She was like little nigga, little N, whatever.
Oh,
Yeah, she was special. Well, she my little pretty. But anyway, that's my grandmother. But no, I say it all the time. I'm a nigga.
So what? Tell me why.
That's not valid. So for so long, we away a lot, and when we started using it and we put it in rap songs, we're glorifying it. We took that power back, right? So people like, what's my white brother? Jack Harlow. So you think because you got 5 chicks in one in each borough that you down, and you can call your homeboy a nigga because you mess with Quisha.
But if homeboy loves him, then that's for him homeboy. That's the real deal.
True, that's absolutely true. But I'm like, that doesn't give you the right. Like, your lineage hasn't put in the time that we had. Like, you haven't got it out the mud, Jack Harlow. I'm sorry.
bothers you?
Like in rap songs, right? So Lil' Kim was looked down on when she talking about not tonight, eat my right? Like, so now Megan Thee Stallion's out here and Cardi B, and it's all about this why. But what's the difference
That way,
between?
yes.
Yeah, so that's why I'm here now. Like, well, what's the difference between them using it and then us taking the power back to own it? Because no matter what you say, I still make more money than you.
See, I don't like that word. I don't like any oversight. But I'm a different person.
Yeah.
Sometimes words, I just have learned that people know they were using it against me to try to have power over me. And I refuse to give anybody that through a word. Because I'll be like, I don't care if you say it to me or not, because I'm not that. I don't embrace that. I'm not a nigger. You know what I'm saying? So if you call me that, I'll be like, who are you talking to?
Yeah.
Right? But I understand why people get upset about it, right? Of course. So I want to talk about it because this has been a conversation within.
When I was in third grade, a little white boy who did it one mud in my face. And I had a friend who fought everybody, she fought him for me. So at the end of the day, like, I know that when people are saying it, you know, there's a certain energy behind it. Like, even when black folks say it to each other, I would never say that to my kids. Nigga, what? Like, I would never say that, because that's not, you would never say that to determine endearment to your little kids.
No.
You're saying it like a white person would say it to you.
Right. That's how I classify people. So like from somewhere.
I don't like the word. I used to say it. The more I hear people say that around me, it makes me cringe for some reason. So for instance, the way my salon is set up is open. Everybody's open. We have our own suites, but the nail tech suite, everything's open. So she's young. She's young. She might have a few male clients that have came in the past and used that word. It is so hard for me to handle that now that I'm older. I don't say it. I don't use that anymore. I don't definitely say nigger.
No.
But I don't give it that much power. Because in my household, my kids can't say it's a cuss word. And I told her, I said, I'm kind of scared to say what I gotta say. Because it's just, I hear it differently than others. It's something about it that I don't like to hear that word. It just, my kids, it's just rough. It's a rough word to me. It's rough.
Yeah.
It's almost like cursing. Nigger is just, I don't know why anybody would ever, but I've been called a nigger before. But N-I-G-G-E-R, by white people who did not know me and brought us over some money. So that's what they do to hurt us. So I started thinking, oh my God, like, do you not give this word power? Because now at 42, if you call me a nigger, first of all, I think different. I don't care what you call me. You don't mean anything to me. So whatever, like I understand, I'm just not even gonna pay attention. But us using that word, it just is something that I just don't care for it. But I won't judge Diamond for you or anybody in that matter. And when I do hear the songs, I say it in the rap songs. So sometimes I'm a little contradictory, but I won't say that myself. I won't be like, what's up?
You won't call anybody that.
No, I'll be like, what's up?
Or like,
I just don't speak like that, and I don't want my kids to, but my husband does.
Yeah.
Friends and family do. I don't feel the need to check them. It's just what I don't do for myself.
It's personal.
It's personal.
So like, well, I want somebody else to give a point too about what they may feel about it, because I really want to talk about this because it's a lot of stuff that we were indoctrinated with, right? And I'm not saying this is my viewpoint, I'm just speaking, right? This is a lot of stuff that we were indoctrinated with. So even when I'm saying that we take the power back, sometimes I call BS on that, not for you, but just in general. Because I think that we were taught certain things, right? To talk down about ourselves and say certain, and then we do it. Not just with that word, but other stuff too that we've been taught to say and talk down. So, yeah.
I like that. And females in general, because I don't think you have to sexualize everything.
Right.
No. If you want to rap, I love rap. I wish I was a rapper and a comedian. I don't listen to R&B. I'm not that old school R&B. I do it my salon because that's what the people like.
Yeah.
But when I'm in my car, we ain't Grace no Sade.
No, we up there.
I like a little trapping. I'm trapping and drill.
You said that you don't like female rappers because they're over sexualized.
But see, I'm being really hypocrite though.
Okay.
So hard. I'm saying I'm hypocritical. I am though. This is just me because I love being honest with myself.
No, I'm not
taking deep down. So I can get my point across to men without being sexual. So that might be why I have an issue with a lot of stuff.
Right.
So when the commentators were on there, y'all need to be talking about football. I don't want to see tits and ass. I just don't want to see it. Because I want to know that you know what you're talking about without looking at that first. I think we give ourselves up too easily. I think a lot of things are just overly sexualized. And I think we just I want to know about here. I can see your movie.
But what about now? Listen, because, and let me tell you, this is my process even on the word, right? Dig us up. words have power. I believe that wholeheartedly. I'm very intentional with my words. I try to be anyway. So words have power. So when I'm trying to or when I am trying to manifest money or whatever, I will listen to some type of trap to talk about making money. Because I believe it's an energy, right? If I'm in the kitchen you know, oh yeah, they do what are you doing? Yeah. No,
we have a tendency to act crazy. I'm looking at my husband, clutching my pearls, like, oh, this nigga. But then in the same breath, oh God, Sally's crazy. They're gonna blow up the joint. Let's get the baby and go. Let's just go.
Stereotype people is what I am.
But we use a lot of phrases with each other. That's how, she was Sally, but that was a nigga.
Yeah.
That's the difference. We're still using it as a,
But
you know what I mean?
But Sally is now like Sally and Jack.
No,
or what's the new one?
From their perspective, other people that people are very offended by that.
Yeah, I think they do too. That's a hard.
I do think some of it is deflection, but some of it is where people really feel like that's the right
totally right now. And they feel so small.
Yes. So my question is though, why? And I really want to a real answer on this. Why do we feel it's okay for us to say it, even however we view it? Why is it okay? And again, this is not my view. I just want to know, because people ask the question all the time. People say
It's a struggle.
Yeah, people always say yeah.
And I don't care. I think that when she says it.
Right.
I say it.
Right.
It is just in my vernacular, and I curse a lot too. It is just who I am.
And people hear me do it all the time. Right.
Yeah, and I say it in front of my white friends. And I wouldn't even, it would probably catch me a little if I heard them say it. But if I'm saying it in front of them and I'm not censoring myself, then why would I expect them to not say it? They just don't out of respect for me. But if they say it, they say it. I'm not going to not be their friend.
But if they see it.
Friends and rich white friends. So I'm going to put it to you like this. Some people say it's term endurance. Some people say when they rapping. Some people they grew up like that. They grew up with niggas. And they think they a nigga and they say nigga. And it's whatever for me. Because I know that's how they grew up. And I'm just like,
But you know what you're off here Price Hill, and this is where it gets into a thing for me where it's it's a cultural thing.
it is.
Because cultures can transcend all kinds of stuff, right? When you have culture and you're around that and that's literally your way of life all your life, do we condemn them for saying that? When that's their culture, when they literally grew up?
We all mingling together.
Yes.
And
I
so
think that burns my tongue though. Right?
Shame on us for not gatekeeping our culture. You're right. Everybody else would tell you in Indian communities or Asian communities what there's already a gate of who we don't date, what we don't do, where we don't go, what we don't eat. But for us, we say, the acceptance thing again almost sometimes, I want to,
I want to be accepted.
Yeah,
but that's again, the whole nigga thing goes back to she said acceptance. A black man doesn't think he's arrived until he has a white woman.
that's subjective.
Sometimes where you at?
Sometimes I say it, sometimes I don't. Should I say it? Is it right for me to be saying it? How can I condemn them for saying it if I'm saying it too? For me, I have been in the medical field since I was 18. So I take care of that population.
Yeah.
Literally 3 days ago was just told I should sell you.
oh,
By the man on his deathbed.
Oh, that's what he's told to say he was
You get delirious, you don't know where you at, but you visit certain parts of your life. It speaks your true truth. Okay? So
he meant that thing.
He did.
he wasn't getting what he wanted. I want what I want.
So he said he will sell you.
And so he went, I'm gonna strike that. And it wasn't nigger. But that hurt more than me ever hearing them call out. Because at this point I'm conditioned, it's what they do. When they want to get you upset, because I work in psych too.
Right.
So psych patients, that's the first thing they go for. If I don't have my jacket on and you see my tattoos, the first thing they want to do is bang bang on me and call me a nigga. In that aspect of it, I'm sad. You would sell me?
Right.
His response was, I give you away.
Oh, you not even working again?
It's your time. I know her.
And it hurts. You gotta remember that too. That it hurts.
That one hurt. That one stung a little bit. Being racist, I do not feel safe going back in the room, whether he's on comfort care, whether he's psych, whether he's fighting. I don't have to be injured like that trying to provide care. And so I'm not going back. And then therefore, he's no longer on my assignment. He's on somebody else's. But the age that I am, my lights don't ring. My patients don't wait because they never turn on their light because I get ahead of their needs. My counterparts are not me. Anything because when I asked you to clarify, you reiterated. Let me ask this question. Is it black students or is it the ones from the hood that you gotta edge?
I didn't feel that.
Okay, so that's one thing I'm worried about. It's still, are they respecting?
I mean, I don't.
Some people go there because they have to. Of course, we didn't have a choice. This is where you're going, and you're gonna do this,
I
right?
don't go to Hughes Hospital.
Not. I want to go to have a choice.
I didn't want to do anything.
Really great education. Like me and her, we came from a private elementary school.
I didn't do it at the sales.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I went to the sales. And we went right to the next thing.
And here we come, our parents got a little money, and we bopping around doing whatever we doing, and we're on the same level as
We went in there today to visit.
And the things that we went through when we went there, like, they got a connector now going to the gym. Who was outside in the snow?
It's better than going to a public school where they feel safer. That's on them. Personally, I ain't paying for education. I pay property taxes. I'm not doing that. But some people are comfortable with that. So I think it's just whatever people are comfortable with.
Yeah, but
Like education is so sticky.
And also, whatever's best for you.
Yeah.
but I just want to know if they're respecting it, because, like,
What do you mean by
I mean,
that?
so let's go. We all did, right?
I'm sitting there with their parents, and their parents saying, I'm not paying for school if you're not gonna be a nurse. I'm not paying for school if you're not gonna be a doctor.
Oh, that happens all the time.
All the time. It's like engineering, all this. I was like, I'm going to mold you. Also, I didn't get to do this, so you have the same. I didn't get to do this, so you're gonna do this because I didn't get to do this. Or I am doing this, and you're gonna follow in my footsteps or whatever. Like, we are so multi-dimensional.
For me.
But let me say this.
I don't feel like that. I feel like I got my success came from actual
Living life.
Living life.
Being 17 and pregnant at per se. School background,
Where everything is.
kindergarten,
Yeah.
so public. I don't have to be back at Purcell.
I got the same thing. I got adults schooling me, but the point was that I wanted to go a different direction.
Right.
Right? I did not like it. And then too, along the way while I was pregnant, I was being condemned because I was a Christian child having a baby out of wedlock.
Right.
So it's like you can't really grow in those type of situations properly, right? So, but I really want to talk about this because, you know, for me, Purcell was like whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, the education was cool,
Yeah.
of course, but you know, I think that everybody should be afforded a good education, whatever it looks like.
Yeah.
However that looks, if it's homeschooling, if it's
Oh, not just the education, it's the bonds we had.
Yeah.
20-some odd years later, again, and I've said this before, we haven't skipped a beat, right?
Yes.
We can, a trying time in my life, I didn't know what I could do. The first person I thought to call was this one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We would not have made the relationships had we not met at Purcell.
Yeah.
I'm not putting my power and my nothing on that school. We paid to go there. I paid to sit there.
Yeah.
I want to go with her. When I went into college, and I'm super, I'm right on myself. I'm smart. I don't need all that extra
Didn't
guidance.
feel like you was prepared for it.
I was not prepared.
Exactly.
So I'm
paying all that money tonight.
I was like I was prepared for it just because I was prepared for. I was always good at school.
Yeah.
But I was tripping. No, I really never was tripping. They used to let me go, Miss Glover,
Yeah.
I would go get chips. She would be like, where's your car? Your car closed, go ahead and go leave and go do this and do that. She never, they went out and wait a minute. I never, by the time I had Katie when I had her in April, I walked the next month. I didn't miss a meeting. I
didn't get that treatment either, but I left before I could even really see the direct, like see how it would be.
Yeah, I was also raised in Catholic school too, so the expectation was probably different.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if we weren't religious,
So it was
Not that we were religious, because I'm Baptist. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
So that neighborhood. So
and there was a lot of back to schools either.
No.
So like if you wanted kind of like that mindset that you talking about, you wanted a quality education.
You have to go.
Right. So for us, it was like moving from Parham. So if you're not going to Parham, then you're gonna go to this private school. But I don't like the and I'm gonna say it like this because it's not towards you, but I know people have that mindset, and I get what you're saying about like making sure that they respect what you had, the grind you had to go through and everything. But sometimes in our community, we are hard on kids in certain communities because they're like
Not there, they ain't there.
right, like they don't deserve to be there. And I'm like, well, half of these people don't deserve to be there because
You just gave me a whole revelation, because Shannon says it all the time. He was like, babe, you was raised with a silver spoon. And I never thought anything of it. Yeah, I never thought anything of it until he made me
You
realize.
have to think that because your parents afforded you to
That's
pay
right.
for school. They have public
That's right.
school.
And
Everybody in every community. They don't, you know, I pay, and I don't know how much, I can afford to send my kids to any school in the city. I will never pay for education because I'm going to stand by the belief that we should not have zip code education. I should have afforded every opportunity, anybody else.
But
I
that's
never do it. I ain't gonna hold y'all. I live in Fairmount. I live in Westchester. Fairmount is the lowest income neighborhood in the city of Cincinnati.
But you got prime real estate now.
I bought my house cash 10 years ago. My business is well into 6 figures. I still live in the hood, okay? Because I need to teach these kids that it's way more than what you see. So we ain't better than nobody. You know?
Yeah.
well, and then too, I want to talk about how we talked about that life experience thing too, because I didn't go to college. I refused. I tried it because that's what everybody told. So for me, it's like, you know, I have built my life on my life experience.
So
I
I did a hell of a job. I didn't even know.
Around me all the time.
Oh,
You hear me say to me about what I can do or what I'm trying to do.
what you are doing.
What I am.
And
See,
you don't touch on
no.
this. You are. You know, that's the thing is that it's the thing where like we have to remember that, and I'm gonna start crying because I get so emotional about this.
You can cry with love to help you.
But you know, it's like we have to stop putting people in these boxes. Like for me, I'm like, people my whole life told me you ain't gonna do nothing, you're not gonna be nothing. I had kids young. They were like, oh, you gave up your life. And I'm like, forget y'all. I said other words, this is before the Breaking Bread Village. And I'm like, you know, forget y'all. Because it's like, you know, my thing is I would prefer to sit with a Buddhist, right, as opposed to reading about a Buddhist. That's just me. I'd rather have that experience and that energy, right, and really understanding the culture, the experiences, why people do what they do, why do people wear hijab, why do you do that? I want to know, opposed to, you know, learning about it.
I've always been like that.
I have, and that's the thing, but though, when you get to a point in your life where it's like, I'm going to do me, regardless, and I've always kind of like, went my own path, you know what I'm saying? And you get demonized for that, you know?
You were wrong because it's not that straight man. I like a little cross.
Yeah,
It's not what's expected.
But what's the straight path? But you know what I think some of it is though, in all honesty, I think that people sometimes are envious of the fact that they don't have the
They
strength.
just know another way.
Yeah, and they're not brave enough to do it.
Yeah.
So they kind of get mad at you because it's really and that's why I teach about self. This is all a self thing. This is all about us. What we hate in somebody else is really something we're struggling
And
with.
you keep that keeps dropping in my ear, because when I was younger, y'all knew me here. But me and my mother, we had a strained relationship because y'all know I grew up with my grandparents, right?
Yes.
So my granny was dying. I was like, you know, why doesn't she like me?
Yeah.
Why does she not deal with me? Why does she not? And you said it because my granny told me, she said, Shannon, she doesn't like you because you're everything she wanted to be. Because you're never afraid to do what you want to do how you want to do it. And that, when you said that and it struck a chord, like looking at where you are, and we're sitting in Mr. Pope's religion class, and you politely looked at your watch like, yeah, so
It's time to go.
I'm about to go.
I did not know you used to do all that. I didn't know. I used to mind my business, y'all. I didn't know none of that.
Like just looking at your post, all of our past teachers, oh yeah, you're such a great, you're doing something. And I know you're looking like,
You know, get out of here. But you heard you and teach Listen, I remember while and Miss Glover.
She tried to fight Sean Murphy.
Did she? In gym class, baby. Sure. Because she had.
What was I?
Because you know what? But since I was little in school, and I feel like this today, I've always stood up for what I feel is right.
yeah.
And as a child, you know, we were taught you're not supposed to stand up.
Yeah.
So just do the go take it. And I'm like, this is not right. You're not supposed to talk to us like that. And you definitely not going to talk to me like that. So I would challenge adults at a young age, and that's why I would get in trouble. Because I'm like, this is dumb. You don't get to talk to me like that, and I have to just take that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it just was a thing where I just wasn't going to do that. But I just want to, and I know that y'all have to go, and I don't want to keep y'all here all night, and I really love this, and I would love to do this again because I think this is really important
Yeah.
for us to be able to just, this is a release.
Yes.
This is therapeutic, you know what I'm saying? Because there are times in our lives when we spend all day busy. We are busy. I mean, I know for my, I would be sitting somewhere and still doing this, trying to listen to people because we got emails coming in.
We do not want to show the individual.
Yeah.
We are people. We have feelings. We are pathetic.
There's some people that think they up here,
Mm-hmm.
and money don't make you up here. You look at most money in the world.
I think the most important thing, like self-awareness is key. Like I'm always gonna tell people that because, so I lived in Doha, Qatar. I lived in the Middle East, it was great.
Yes.
At that time I was like trying to kind of navigate what I thought was beautiful, what was not beautiful, all of those things, and I was kind of insecure about myself. And there was this, I would go to parties with a lot of my friends, there was this really gorgeous woman. And everyone would always say, y'all be good friends, but I didn't want to talk to her for some reason. I didn't want to talk to her. But then, because I believe in self-awareness and self-reflection, I had that honest moment with myself and said, you don't want to talk to her because she's beautiful.
You don't think she's beautiful?
Yeah, I think that she's beautiful. She's kind. She's all these things. She's confident, and you're struggling with that right now. And so because I had that moment, I know I was navigating, you know, we get into those spaces. So because I had that reflective moment, I said to myself, no, you're not going to do that. I talked to her. She's one of my really good friends, you know. But like people that envy is the first reaction, and it's for reasons that are so deeply buried that sometimes people don't even know why. Because there's no reason why I should be hateful of someone that I don't know. So like self-awareness, doing that work, reflecting, and being able to say, like for me, I'm emotional, I'm a Cancer, I'm this, I get defensive, I do all of this, I know these things about myself. Take that extra step and trust someone, you know, say something, be honest with yourself, do the reflective work, because I think when we build ourselves up, we collectively build just our community.
That's the core of the work.
Yeah.
Right? When you realize that we're all reflections, that is the point, and once people realize that, it's all reflection, your life changes.
Yeah, we miss out on community wealth. Like right now, that business card exchange.
Yeah. But that's what we have to do. We have to be like with each other. But instead of saying, oh, she got a book, I've been wanting to write a book, get mad about it, celebrate that, cheer, because guess what? Collaboration is even like right now, will take place.
Collaboration equals elevation. I love it. Like, I love that. My friends are doing such amazing things. I know that I can pick up the phone. Girl, that's my skin working out. Girl, what I do? Where can I be?
Opportunity. We those clinics and they're shutting out
And that envy.
Yeah.
Like, she doing so good, I don't want her. But it's like, why not?
do it all the time. I do it all the time. And even if we are doing the same thing, I'm not in competition.
Your sisters
with
are the same.
She understands you're doing the same thing. I need you. I need to talk to you. I tell Eric all the time. People tell me you're an inspiration, and I'm yeah. I talk to Aaron and say, I see what you're doing, this is what I want to do. Thank you, and it's validation. You're doing this, that validation that this is possible for me to do. Thinking that the way to success means that struggle has to be in there. Like, if I didn't struggle for it, did I work hard for it? No, there is someone that has blazed a trail. So you do not have to take the scenic route. I'm not gonna take the scenic route.
But again, that comes from the indoctrination, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
and that's what they think is the prerequisite.
I have to struggle.
I'm able to make it so you don't struggle as a black person in the world, male, female, wherever you want to be. I'm gonna do that. But there are many parents that want to see their children struggle. I had to struggle this life.
See, I can't know what I feel like my story, whatever I went through was years ago.
That's right.
I was born in 1980. That's a whole different life. We have the internet. They like, these kids are spoiled. They have all this stuff. I wish I had the internet.
Right.
I wish I had something in front of you.
I'm glad we didn't have social media though, because that would be bad.
You would really.
I would be like, oh my God, they tell everything.
It's different. I feel like I don't like the show. I don't do the show.
And I think if we teach our children gratitude,
That's all I have.
That's all I
Thursday,
Yeah.
totally different, almost like careers. And I don't care. And people say, oh my goodness, you wasn't even there. That didn't serve me anymore.
I love that.
And my thing is that I know where I want to go.
Yeah.
And I know what makes me happy. And I'm not going to stay somewhere, anywhere,
Yep.
where I am miserable and I don't feel fulfilled. So once I get once I get there, I'm like, oh, this has been fun.
Yeah.
I really enjoy it. Great time to go.
It's a great day.
Because you know what? These jobs don't care. I mean, they literally be in 2 weeks and they'll still tell you to go home. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not about to live
We
my
gotta let
life.
our kids do that. When they don't like the soccer thing, we can't say, well, we paid for it.
Yeah.
If he don't like it, he can
Yeah.
cancel the other sport. Like,
Yeah.
that's,
We were talking.
you know, he knows the rest of it.
Yeah, it gives us stick to it.
It's my life for the job that I want. Or how can we look? The husband that was around.
You know, but that goes back to the very beginning of this conversation about I want to thank all of y'all sincerely from the bottom of my heart because, like I said, some of us go back, way back, and it's just such a beauty. And even the people that I've met in the last couple of years, it's such a beauty to see everybody just thrive. You know what I'm saying? And grow into, ain't none of us locked up for the rest of our lives. Our children thank prayer, girl, and we all yeah. The dirty still on. The dirty still be written. But no, seriously, I really appreciate this. Y'all taking the time to do this because we need this.
Yeah.
Within us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And this is a way to stay connected and to speaking to each other. Right? This is beautiful because
People here we didn't know. I didn't know that.
oh, like that. Really, I didn't know. I was just gonna be like that. I love what we do. No, because now, like you already looked up for her. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm sitting right here. I'm like, no, that's what I'm saying. And then you got cards, you got stickers. No, this is what it's all about. Collaboration, building, growing, and us elevating each other.
Yeah.
Because baby, ain't nobody else gonna do it.
No.
So we have to do it. And you should have to elevate yourself by yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, we should be able to do it all for each other and be that person in inbox to be like, girl, what am I doing?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially if you bought houses, you bought property. I should be able to come to you. I came to you years ago. It's like, girl, my credit is looking a little janky. What do I need to do? Yes, and I love it. This is what we do. So I appreciate y'all from the bottom of my heart. This is purely gratitude. People that came from out of town. You know what I mean? Y'all came out. Yeah, I appreciate y'all. That's love.
Yeah.
That's love. But trust me, I'm gonna say I'm not there yet. But when I get to a point where I can pay for tickets, Baby.
Baby.
No, seriously, that's what I'm about. Okay? So I appreciate y'all, I really do. I love y'all from the bottom of my heart, I really do.
Thank you.
And I appreciate y'all.
And can we
So, thank you.
you are like such
Just stand up. It's really like, we not stand up.
I need you to know that because
After 20 years.
it's not,
You gotta say, baby, 20 years.
like I believe in cosmic connections. I believe in people being at the right place at the right time. And when people show up for you, the one thing I say, people see that. I'm like, you like come to Cincinnati for the weekend. I'm coming from Texas. It's you. Of course I'm gonna do that because that's who you are to all of us. And so we thank you for putting this together. We thank you for being the light. We thank you for pouring into and showing up for our I'm just saying, and
Because you need those flowers.
you need them. You need them. Like,
And you too busy giving to everybody else.
to everybody else, for yourself. Everybody else. Like, we thank you for what you do, the people you touch, the people you inspire. Like, I love you. It's okay. We love you. Enjoy this greatness, ma'am.
Yes.
Before you be acting like Mike Jones out there.
Now, what's up?
Let me bring it in.
I did this.
Right, I'm like, you know,
That's all. I know, right? You know, every time I but she's like, all right, get it together. And y'all, I want to make sure we thank our videographers